Hello friends, welcome to yet another learning video. In this video, we shall learn about the meaning and scope of homicide. So, what is homicide? Homicide is the highest order of bodily injury that can be inflicted on a human body. It simply means killing of a human being by a human being. However, in every killing, one may or may not be culpable, or to simply say, liable. There have been many instances where the law has not punished a man for committing homicide. Few examples are: 1. Killing in self-defense, or 2. In pursuance of a lawful authority, or 3. Reason of mistake of fact, or 4. Death caused by an accident or misfortune. 5. Doing an act in good faith and with no criminal intention for the very benefit of the person killed. However, if the killing is not legally justified, the man would be held liable for it, in the law. One of the key aspects here is to determine the criminal liability for killing another human being. This comes under the chapter and concept of principle of liability for killing. It is so said that for criminal liability to be direct and distinct, the causal connection between the act and the death, though not necessarily immediate, but it must not be remote. To drill this further down, 3 conditions are being referred to. First is, connection between the act and death is not well known, or not easy to see or understand, or totally hidden. There can be multiple scenarios in this. 1. A mother commits suicide because of her son's bad habits. 2. A wife commits suicide because her husband is impotent. 3. Employee commits suicide because the employer rejected the request of promotion. Let's look at this with reference to a real-life case. In one of the case, Vijay Bhai vs. State of Maharashtra, 1995, where the bride committed suicide by pouring kerosene and burning, as a result of cancellation of her marriage, due to demand of dowry, the apex court held that there was no direct causal connection between the act of suicide and cancellation of marriage. So, it was clearly stated that the accused cannot be made liable under Section 306, IPC, for abatement of suicide. Moving on to the second condition, which is: in some cases, the difficulty lies in ascertaining the facts and not in applying the law to them. Let's see few examples to understand this better. A man met with an accident and he undergoes surgical operation, as a result of which he dies. Or, taking the same example, this man refused to undergo the operation and he dies, or the treatment of the surgeon was proper but the patient does not follow the instructions and dies. Another example, the surgeon who attends the patient is incompetent and pursue a wrong course of treatment, either ignorant or by virtue of bad faith. In all the above examples, the deceased is regarded as having killed by the injury, except the last case, where the surgeon was incompetent. Moving forward, the third point is intervention of subsequent clauses. So, though the connection between the death and the injury is direct and distinct, other causes which are independent of the injury may intervene to prevent death from being treated as homicide in law. So, let's understand this point with an example. For instance, Mr. A is aware that the immunity of Mr. B, who is his enemy, will easily catch COVID. He induces him to walk down through a particular containment zone, where there are huge chances. Mr. B actually walks down the lane, and eventually dies. Now, this is obvious, that Mr. A was kind of instrumental in causing death, but in a manner so remote and dependent on so many contingencies, that it could hardly be said that A killed B. Another aspect is that a death may be caused either by an act of commission, or by an act of omission. It is so said, that killing by omission is no criminal case, until and unless there is an attachment of a legal duty to do, which is omitted. Let's understand this with an example. It's a legal duty of a husband and a father to provide food, clothing, shelter to wife, kids and parents. It is a legal duty of a doctor to provide reasonable care and skills towards their patients. So, it can be clearly stated that causing death by the omission of any such duty is punishable by law. So, friends, let's end this chapter here only. However, kindly also watch the next part, in which we shall learn types of homicide.